Alright, theoretical. You are a Junker Queen fighting a Roadhog. Two questions. One, how far away is this Roadhog? And two, is this Roadhog within your effective range? And by effective range, I mean you shoot and you do not suffer any fall-off damage. I'll give you 3 seconds to guess. 1, 2, 3. So this Roadhog is at 14 meters, and your effective range is 15 meters. So anything beyond 15 meters, you suffer fall-off damage. So just as an example, let me go ahead and show off the distances. Purple is 5 meters, blue is 10, green is 15, and then 20, 25, and 30. So if I were to record this damage and shoot his body, you'll see that it is 80 damage. If I were to back up just a bit and record it from here, you'll see that it is 65.34, barring that I might have missed a few pellets between his legs. Now, as Junker Queen, how do you pull someone closer to you so that they are within your effective range? Well, Gracie. So if you are, I think as a tank, 22 meters, and you pull them, they should end up at exactly the 15-meter mark. And if they are a non-tank, you can have them at the 25-meter distance, which is your max fall-off range. And you'll be able to pull them to your 15-meter range. Now we're going to do like a little quiz. Is this soldier within my effective range? And by that I mean within 15 meters. 3, 2, 1. He is. And in fact, if I play around here, I can easily poke anyone here and get mostly headshots, while my support, if they're back there, they can still see me and heal me in case I need to come back a little bit for healing. Is this soldier within effective range? 3, 2, 1. He is exactly 15 meters. And if I need to, I can just fall back this way. Hopefully I have some supports helping me out. How about this one? I'm at a slight angle from the top, looking down. 3, 2, 1. Yep, 12 meters. And I also have one on this side as well. If I go this way, 11 meters. You have pretty good distance, actually. How about this guy? Across this, like, gap. 3, 2, 1. Nope. Kind of far away, but thankfully for this one, if I were to Gracie pull him, he falls to his death. Nice. Hopefully by now you started using my reticle to see whether they're within effective range. Is this guy within effective range? 3, 2, 1. He is. What about this guy over here? Effective range? 3, 2, 1. Nope. But if I move over to here, he'll be close enough so that if I were to Gracie pull him, he would be close enough for me to be in effective range. So where should you be in respects to your enemy to get maximum damage? Well, duh, headshots, right? Easy, 160. That's not realistic, right? So let's assume that we are at max distance for effectiveness, so 15 meters. It's a little further back. If I were to record this and shoot, you'll see that I do 72 damage. Now, that's not 80 damage because not all the pellets are hitting. So let me go ahead and show off my reticle, for example. So this is the one I use. Feel free to copy it, up to you. However, the only thing that really matters is that I have a circle and I have a show accuracy. This will automatically adjust the size of the circle to be the spread of your pellets. So as long as all the pellets are hitting the Zenyatta's body, so let me go ahead and record it here. 72, 80, right? It's a little weird, you know, depending on like how you're shooting it, but as long as the body is filling up the circle, I should land a majority of my pellets, and therefore the range will change. So now going to a more theory crafting kind of section. These two tables I'm about to show you are one, the ranges that the enemies would like to be at, and the other one being the ranges that you would want to be at as queen. So take this with a grain of salt. This table does not say this character can only damage you at this distance. It is saying this is the space that the character wants to kind of occupy in order to get most effectiveness. For example, Reinhardt has Fire Strike and can hit you from across the map. However, he can't kill you with Fire Strikes across the map. He would need to be close enough to you in order to get his hammer swings off, and maybe even critical damage on his Earth Shatter. For Brig, she can flail around 6 meters, but she can technically whipshot you to boop you off the map. However, she's not going to try to whipshot you, in a non-boopable area, off the map. So I'm considering around 6 meters. Ramatra would like to punch you rather than do his Omnic Form Void Accelerator. Zarya and Symmetra have a beam, and it doesn't matter where you are on that beam, it'll do about the same amount of damage. However, they would want to be a little further back as much as they can in order to get the beam tail of it onto you in order to do damage while being further back, so you can't do your own things. Special cases means these characters do not have an effective range, but they will change where they are playing with you depending on your team's effective range. So, for example, if you have a Widowmaker, they might play further back or behind cover in a specific way. Or if all you have are like shotguns, like Reaper and stuff, they might play somewhat closer up, but enough so that Reaper doesn't get the effective range. Two weird exceptions here I want to mention are Doomfist and Torbjorn. For Doomfist, I have him at 20 meters. You might think that's weird because he wants to punch you and stuff. One, the punch can go pretty far. Two, Shockwave is 18 meters, and if he can get that overhealth from you, then he is in good shape. He really wants to kill your backline. That's his main point. For Torbjorn, he can play technically across the map, but his turret is 40 meters, and you don't see Torbjorns playing really that much away from their turret. They might play on the other sides of, like a chokehold, so that you can have the focus on one or the other. But typically, if you can see the turret, but you can't see the Torbjorn, you're going to kill that turret. Moving on from this chart, these are the desired ranges that Junker Queen would like to be at for these characters with a grain of salt. So, let's go just to the 15-meter point. This is the maximum range they could be at for you to get full damage on with your scattergun. Roadhog, Orisa, Torbjorn, these are all pretty big characters. They're kind of chunky in order for you to get maximum damage without having to, do anything special. The reason why I have the less than 10 meters is because these are the more skinnier characters. Now, with a weird exception of Zenyatta, because his legs kind of spread out, you might be able to get more of those shots. But either way, play closer. It doesn't really hurt you. He can probably kick you, and Lucio can probably boop you. But once those, are either like a little bit out of range or Lucio uses his cooldown, you can get a lot of value by being closer up than 15 meters in order to attack these targets. The 5 meters to 15 meters are a little weird. So, Winston, you can technically be closer up. However, there is a way for him to preserve ammo by Tesla gunning you and punching you, Tesla gun punching you, and that does the same DPS to a singular character. So if it's just you, he can technically do that. And if you're at the 5-meter range, you can Carnage and still get the max damage. So that's why he's like a little weird one. You can technically put him in here. I wouldn't argue or care. Reinhardt, you want to be a little further away from this hammer swing. D.Va, it's way easier for D.Va to hit you with the micro missiles if she is closer up to you. So stay a little back. Plus, if she can defense matrix your entire body, you can't get healed, and therefore her entire team can attack you and you die. So grain of salt, take a little back. Cassidy's flashbang is about, I think, 8 meters, but once it's on cooldown, feel free to move closer up. I still say don't be closer than the 5-meter mark, because you really don't need to be, but also once his cooldown's starting to come back up, move a little further back, and then he shouldn't be able to hit you with that again unless he moves further up to you, which then it's a back and forth kind of cat and mouse. Tracer has a lot of spread when she's just spamming the 2 guns, so stay a little further back so that you are a skinnier tank, and therefore she will miss some of her shots. And Brigitte is just trying to flail you, so be a little further back. Get ready for the whip shot though, because if she whip shots you before you use Carnage, that's a free Carnage for you, and it goes through her shield. The 10 to 15 meters, so this section right here, This is both for effective ranges, but also it maxes out the distance of which spread things happen. So for Maga, for example, if he has both guns out, he will miss a lot of pellets on you because you are somewhat further back. If he uses one gun on you, that's probably more effective. I'm actually not even sure about the damage calcs on that. Whereas these characters are more get out of their range, but for Junkrat specifically, it's just a bit harder for him to land his frag grenades onto you because you're a little further back. These two are the only exception for you to play slightly out of your range. If you play at the 16-meter mark, technically Venture can hit you. At the 17-meter mark, Venture cannot hit you at all. So for these characters, I do have them at this outside of range. However, it's actually possibly even better if for Venture, for example, you played at the like 15 to 10 meter range. That way, you can get all your bullets, pellets onto Venture, and they will take max damage. Whereas, like further away, you kind of like just kind of chip at them, and it's not as effective. But technically, in order for you to get the max effectiveness, you can be further away. Zarya is 15 meters. If you're playing at 16 meters, Zarya actually can't hit you. They would have to use right click, and her right click isn't really that good. They did buff it up a little bit, so grain of salt, but overall, hopefully this chart helps out someone.